Welcome back to MMA Al Dente. I am the guy who picked Christian Morecraft to defeat Stefan Struve. And I'm here to talk about Ashley Evans Smith versus Ailin Perez. Ailin Perez is 7-2 as a pro, 28 years old, and she's giving up 3 inches of height and 1.5 inches of reach to Ashley Evans Smith, who is 36 years old now and has a record of 6-5. Smith is making a return after 3 years. I should mention that at the top. Perez, she's 7-2. Her one legit loss comes in her debut to Stephanie Egger, rear naked choke in round 2. We saw that in her last fight. Stephanie Egger's a really tough girl to fight in your debut and a really good grappler. But her other loss is against another current UFC fighter, Tamiris Vidal. That was outside the UFC, and she was DQ'd after a sloppy mess of a fight. But Ailin Perez, she is a finisher outside the UFC. 4 wins via TKO, 1 via submission, and just 2 decision wins. They're over largely shittier competition, though. So there's that. I think at the UFC level, she's not going to be so much of a finisher. But she's still a skilled fighter. Definitely a very skilled fighter. I think she's good on the feet, but her instincts bring her to the ground. That's where she gets most of her work done, the TKO victories. It's her being on top. She's good at advancing and got a really nice heavy mount. And then she'll dance and show her ass afterwards, whatever they call that, twerking or whatever. But Ashley Evans Smith, she's a big girl, really tough to dominate. I do think Ailin Perez is going to have a difficult time getting on top of Ashley Evans Smith. Ashley Evans Smith, she's a bigger, stronger girl, wrestling background, I believe, and historically really tough to get out of there. 6-5 record. The 2 submission losses. She's got 2 submission losses, 3 decisions. Her 2 submission losses come to Sarah Moras, who's an armbar specialist. Got her out of there in round 1. And Raquel Pennington, got her out of there with a bulldog choke at the very last second of round 1. And her 3 decision losses come to Norma Dumont, Andrea Lee, and Ketlin Vieira. And those were largely dominant losses. Shit losses, really. But she's also beaten some good fighters. She beat Beck Rawlings, dominated her to a decision. She beat Marion Renault in what I would call a fucking robbery. And she beat Veronica Macedo, who is a very skilled fighter, but, definitely lost the physicality battle there and was TKO'd in round 3. And she also got this girl out of there, Marcia Ailin, got her out of there in round 3. And also she beat Fallon Fox, who is a man. She beat the shit out of a man. It's transgendered fucking man. Whatever the fuck. Or maybe they're called trans women. I don't know. But either way, it was a man, and she beat him up earlier in her career, which is what got the UFC's notice, I believe. The UFC's attention, I should say. But, Ashley Evans Smith, who knows what she's going to look like. This is a long layoff. Long layoff here. 3 years. And she wasn't looking so good on her way out. Her last loss comes to Norma Dumont. Norma, a very good fighter, fighting higher up on this card. But still, wasn't a great loss. I expect Ailin Perez to win, but I'm staying away from this one betting-wise. Ashley Evans Smith, I'll probably get drunk and bet on Ailin Perez. But Ashley Evans Smith, she's she's a big, strong girl. A thief, by the way, who stole COVID fucking supplies or whatever the fuck. I don't know if she fought since then. But either way, I feel like I haven't heard of her in probably since then. But she is a big, strong girl. Historically very tough. I know she's been taken out twice, but those are two very tough bantamweight fighters, Sarah Moras and Raquel Pennington. And I think with physicality and whatever, she's got enough advantages, being difficult to out-wrestle, which takes away Ailin Perez's primary strength, where it's going to make this an interesting fight. I still expect Perez to win if she's not able to get Ashley Evans Smith down. I expect her to be sharper on the feet, certainly quicker. And, yeah, the pick is Perez. I might get drunk and bet on her. But as of now, I'm staying away from this one. Just staying away. I just, I don't know Ailin Perez that well to know how she's going to handle Ashley Evans Smith. And I don't know what Ashley Evans Smith is going to look like exactly. So stay away, but I'm picking Ailin Perez. No doubt about it. Gun to my head, I'd go with Perez by decision. Like, share, subscribe, all that horseshit. Check out my other videos.